Rich, man, I'm a big fan, but we don't do intros here on Dynasty Trades in 5. We do always start out with a trade, however. So we got a 12-team Superflex PPR 1.75 tight end premium start 10. Rich, are you going Bijan Robinson or Jordan Addison in the 107? Go ahead, man.
This is interesting because with Bijan, you have the Arthur Smith factor, but there are, in my opinion, there are 3 running backs that can be CMC-like or Kamara-like over the duration of their careers, and Bijan's one of them. It's Bijan, Breece Hall, and Jahmyr Gibbs for me. Running back is such a scarce commodity to have that stud running back. But Jordan Addison in the 1.7, man, that is tempting because this draft class coming out is pretty solid. If I think I'm going to go Addison in a 107 because I'm pretty confident in my ability to draft well. So I think I can come out of that with 2 pretty solid commodities. And you can pick up running backs that can get you enough points, right?
Exactly.
Over time. So yeah, I think this is pretty cut and dry for me. Addison in a 107.
Yeah, I definitely do the same. I mean, the package here makes sense. Normally in a start 10, you want the side that has less pieces. That's typically the winning side. But in this one, Jordan Addison's a nice piece. Young wide receiver. That's what we all want, right? But there's a huge stink on running back. I've got some Bijan Robinson shares, and honestly, I don't even look at it and like, oh, I can't sell Bijan. He's just a name for me, for better or worse. But yeah, that 107, it's not only being able to pick a player there, but also just that flexibility and liquidity to be able to get a pretty decent first in, what is this, January 3rd. All right, so Rich, you're a Jets fan.
Yes.
And I just saw one of your videos and you were talking about, Joe Flacco, like what if he were at the Jets, they'd be a playoff team. Talk to me about the Jets. Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers, what's going on with your team?
This team has, I don't think we have a very good coach. I think this is a situation where if Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, the coach would be gone. Probably the GM would be gone as well. As far as what's going on with them, I think they are hoping he is the savior. Without him, it bothers me that one guy can go down, and I understand that it's a quarterback, but one guy can go down and then your team is just in shambles. The coach looks lost. Everyone looks lost. I love the young talent they have. They massively need to fix that offensive line, and it's lucky that this draft is offensive tackle heavy. Mm-hmm. So I think they can grab an offensive tackle. They'll probably have the 8th pick, somewhere around there, even if it falls a little later, if they happen to beat the Patriots. I'm pretty confident they can land an offensive tackle. And then maybe they can grab a guy like Jonah Williams. He should be a free agent from the Bengals, and maybe they can grab somebody like him. One thing I do like is you have a guy like Elijah Vera-Tucker, who you can plug in at guard. And if you need to plug him in at left tackle, I mean, you have that versatility. You also have Joe Tippmann, who can play center or guard. So it gives you a little wiggle room with what you can do in free agency and the draft. But without Rodgers there, man, I don't have a lot of faith in this team, especially with Nathaniel Hackett calling the plays. I don't have a lot of faith.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Understandable. I was telling Rich before the show, he was like, who are you a fan of? I was like, Commanders. And it's like everybody's reaction is like condolences. But Rich's was like, I've never been a Commanders fan. I was like, yeah, we're, we've got a box of tissues in the corner of the room. But
the only other one I think I've heard of was Matthew Berry.
Oh yeah. Definitely a tear down from Matthew Berry as myself. So yeah, the reason we connected is I actually reached out to Rich. I didn't know his name until today. Fun fact. Watch his stuff on Instagram and TikTok mainly. And it's just such unique content. So it's football content, but he does it in a skit comedy like routine. He can speak best about his own content. So Rich, I'm going to first, though, show one of your TikToks.
Okay.
Because I think your content is show, not tell. Hopefully this will look okay on the screen. So I'm going to move us to, let's try this. I'm going to share my screen. Let me get rid of this banner. And then you can talk about your stuff. Oh, we got 95 people in here. That's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. They're bearing with me as I'm doing this. Okay. So Pro Football Demon. All right. I think you can see me now. So which one did I want to pull up? Oh, so this one is Giants apologize to Green Bay. All right. This one was fairly recent. This is on TikTok.
New York, yeah, Mrs. DeVito would like to send a little
Hold on.
apology spread.
Can you hear it?
Green Bay?
Yeah.
His son, embarrassed him so horribly on Monday Night Football. Okay, number one, he did not embarrass us. And number two, when you say apology spread, does that mean she's going to cook us food? Nothing too crazy. A little antipasto and a nice bruschetta, and maybe some eggplant parmesan, tray of stuffed shells, some penne vodka, some roasted potatoes.
I love how it cuts back to this guy. Like, really?
For dessert, she sends over some nice cannoli, some struffoli.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna pause it right there. But yeah, I just wanted people to get an initial sense of kind of what your style is. So talk to me, man. Very unique content. It's getting into this space, growing a channel in the fantasy football or football space is tough. You got to differentiate yourself. But how did you get to where you're doing comedy skits and all? Obviously, tie in your background, but go ahead, man.
Well, I started out when I was a kid, man. I used to watch comedians and listen to comedians, and just I loved listening to it over and over and trying to emulate it, trying to kind of hit the points, the comedy points where, the timing and whatnot. And I watched a lot of sitcoms, watched a lot of movies. So, getting into this, I started out by just talking football. I love football, so I just started talking football. And then as my personality started getting more and more, I started opening up my personality more and more. I stopped being so nervous in front of the camera. It just kind of hit me, I can do this. I can do some funny stuff. I can, kind of, and then it just took on a life of its own. And I just kind of opened up myself, what you get in those skits is you get me through and through. Everything from, the comic references. There's always some kind of reference going on. If you look closely, and I think it was that episode, if you look closely behind the Cincinnati Bengals, you can see Die Hard actually playing on the TV in the background. your voice, your mic is cut.
Yeah, I did see that. Look at me, freaking rookie on mute. Yeah, I watched it like the third time I caught it though. But yes, that was a great reference. Yeah.
It's stuff like that I love when people pick up on the little references, even if it's one line from a movie or something like that. There's always something to look out for. So yeah, as far as how I got started doing it, that's pretty much it. I just, I think I was telling you before, my first video, I just started talking in front of the camera. I hated the way I sounded, hated the way I looked, and I just had to get used to it.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing for us. And we used to, I mean, our setup, if you could see my end, it's pretty poor, but it was even worse before. We didn't have a ring light. We just didn't care at all. Like all three of us, Scott, Shane, and myself, were like introverts, like by nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit tough to just do it. But here we are live streaming in front of a bunch of people, yet we're shy. or we get out of that comfort zone when we need to, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So when you started on TikTok, did you have a video hit early?
The first video that actually hit was me in my car talking about rumors, and it hit for the wrong reason because everybody was thinking that I was saying these are things that are going to happen.
Oh, okay.
But it was just, these are rumors that are happening. So of course, there were people stitching me and commenting, "Oh, this guy's an idiot." That was really the first video that hit. I got followers from it, I guess, from people who wanted to just roast me if none of those things happened. So I made a follow-up video basically saying, I listen. I wasn't predicting those things. Those are just things that I just thought we could talk about. But the first skit that I did actually hit. It was a game of telephone. How NFL rumors spread. And it was basically, a reporter hearing something from a janitor, about Deshaun Watson going to the Cowboys. And then I was just playing different parts of people. And then one Cowboys fan calling another Cowboys fan saying, "We're getting Deshaun Watson," and then that one kind of hit. So I just kept kind of moving with that.
Yeah. When I'm rambling on at some point here, if you could put in like the chat, we have a private chat. I don't know if you know StreamYard. Yeah. if you could put in the link to that, I'll pull it up on my screen so we can watch it. But
Okay.
yeah, no, it's with us, it took a while for us to hit on TikTok. I guess first off, we were a little bit late to the game getting started. I wish we had started on TikTok and Instagram much sooner. Like, we have an awesome editor, Liam, and he was doing all this awesome long form. It's like, hey, can you do reels and stuff too? He's like, oh yeah, for sure. And turns around like a dope reel, like within like a half an hour, and we've done a ton of tweaking to it. But I was like, are you serious? I could have been doing this the whole time. So then I became obsessed with that.
Yeah.
But we didn't really have a video hit until a DK Metcalf video on our channel. And what it was, I realized, is people were like, wow, there's a Dynasty Fantasy Football TikTok channel now. Because there really isn't much. There's not a giant Dynasty community on TikTok, but there wasn't much of an offering. So all of a sudden, I just started getting hammered by followers. And the whole time I'm like, ego's going up, up, up. No, but you start getting pumped and you see all these followers coming in. It ended up getting like 195,000 views. And that wasn't all at once. Like, that's like from launching it until now, probably. But it got up to about 100 very quickly, and we got tons and tons of followers. It was super cool, and I was hooked. But after that, I mean, most of our videos kind of peak around the like 8,000 range.
Yeah.
Is a good one. So I don't know, what are your plans? You just started a vlog
Yes.
series. What are your plans for 24? What's your content strategy for 24?
Well, I'm looking to those skits take me a while because I'm removing the background. You're seeing some of them. I put decorations in the background to make it feel like the teacher decorated the classroom. So one of those NFL high school episodes takes me about 15 hours to 20 hours from start to finish to put that together. But I want to maybe shorten those a little bit, do more reels, get more reels out there, get maybe more shorter skits up, but look kind of the way I used to. But I also want to add more long form content for YouTube. I did a couple of videos of the most annoying fan bases, and I did one the NFC East, one the AFC East, and I want to do more of those. I have a lot of fun doing those. And I want to do vlogs, just, kind of along the lines when it was so crazy when I had the idea to do vlogs and kind of give people a little insight into, what I do behind the scenes.
Right.
And when you reached out to me for this, I was like, man, there's a reason he reached out to me for this. Like, it's kind of telling me I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Exactly.
I'm looking for that video. I have it right here. I'm trying to figure out how to get you the link. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that.
Oh, good stuff. No problem. No problem. Yeah. So why, before I pull it up, why are you trying to do more long form? You said you wanted to show yourself and all, but is there, what are the other reasons for doing long form?
I just enjoy it. That's basically the reason. I want to do what I enjoy. And I've always enjoyed vlogs, and it's something I always wanted to do. I'm not really, do I expect the vlogs to hit and gain me 100,000 followers overnight? No. But I do have I'm building a pretty nice community of people that are getting to know me, people I'm getting to know. And it just feels right. It feels like something, that I should be doing and I want to pursue. As far as the other stuff, again, it's just fun for me. I love the editing process, man. I love putting these things together, and I get such a visual in my mind of how I want it to look, how I want it to feel, and then seeing the final product on the screen and putting it out there is, for me, that's an unmatched feeling. It's just
it is. Yeah. It's like the first time, this is so lame. First time I got on the surfboard and actually like rode without falling, like, down the wave, I was like, I'm hooked. No, that's the lame. But yeah, no, it's a blast. We started, like I said, doing 5-minute trade shows on Dynasty Trades in 5, but now most of what we do is long live streams. We do hour and 45-minute live streams, and it ends up being great for us. Like, our content, luckily, happens to be very easy to clip. So trades or, Shane, I'll take a timestamp of Shane saying something hilarious, and it's like, yep,
he's
that's
funny.
gonna and he's so organically funny. It's just there's no reason to tee him up. I guess this one time I was like, all right, Shane, you ready? Just to get his attention. And he was like, yeah. I was like, Shane, do you have an OnlyFans, bro? Like, it was a question from the audience. And then after that, was an entire content reel for our partnership with Did It.
Yeah.
This one-on-one fantasy advice app. So right there and then, boom, funny moment for Shane. I can post it on all the socials, and it's a deliverable for our new partner.
Yeah.
So,
and what's great about listening to you guys, his voice is perfect.
Yes.
It makes you laugh. You could say anything, and it just comes off funny.
Yeah, it's perfect. And you can tell when someone is new because they crack on Shane or say, this guy is the worst. It's like, stick around. You'll like him. So I'm going to click on this link. Hopefully it doesn't start blasting. There we go. All right. We're going to share my screen because I want to see this. I want to see this video that you said. So this is the one that got you a lot of juice, huh?
That was the first one where I got, I think I had about 60,000 views or something.
Oh,
like
and it's a 26-seconder. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's play it.
I just overheard someone in the organization tell somebody else that they don't think Deshaun would ever want to leave Texas. Well, if that's true and he doesn't want to play for the Texans anymore, that must mean someone close to Texans organization says he believes Deshaun prefers Dallas over every other destination. Dude, I just read it. Yeah, Deshaun wants to come to the Cowboys. Can you believe it? No, moron. He wants to come to the Cowboys.
This is awesome.
Where have you been? Ah!
That's great, man. That's great, and it's so different to see how much you've grown though in terms of your skills and stuff. Yeah. That's awesome.
That.
That's awesome.
I mean, I always had, like I said, a vision for how I wanted to do things, and I just didn't know how to do it. So I spend most of my day thinking of how I can achieve something. And most of the time when I write my skits now, I don't know if you've seen a recent one where I have Kansas City kind of has a split personality where they just kind of change.
Yes. Yeah. It's like Taylor Swift.
And I didn't know how I was going to do that. I just had to figure it out. I wrote it. I said, man, I got to get something up this week. And I just kind of figured it out as I went. So that could be one of the reasons why they take me so long to put together too. I'm always trying to do something new.
Yeah. Why don't you use captions for your content?
I do sometimes. Sometimes I honestly just forget to do it. From time to time I do, but the captions were on TikTok. They kind of do auto captions now, so I'll go in and I'll go in and I'll just kind of play around with that and just fix what's there. But captions is something that I want to add more and more. Honestly, I get so excited when I finish editing a video. It's kind of something that just slips my mind.
Yeah. No, that I hear that. I hear that. We've been messing around with the captions a lot. I more so use them as a way to just keep the viewer honest, keep them busy. So adjusting the sizes of a word, or you've got all the comments going down the middle, but then some comments go up in the top left corner. Just reset attention is mainly why I do it. And just because all short form has captions, so it's like whatever, everybody's doing this. I guess there's some value in it.
I think it works better with your type of content because mine, there are some visual aspects to it.
That's true. You don't want to, I guess, cover up too much of yourself. You would want it more subtle.
Right. So
yeah.
That's the way I used to do the captions, were just very small, just kind of there in case somebody wanted to follow along. But what would really aggravate me, and it's just a personal thing, is sometimes it would give away the joke. The caption would give away the joke before I actually said it. So
No, you're right. That would not be good. Yeah. So we've got 85 people in here. Thanks so much for joining. This is kick-ass. Rich, if you were to advise someone or give some advice, they want to get started with content creation in 2024. They're not funny. They don't do skit style like you do. They're just they're just me. Mm-hmm. How would you grow a channel? Let's start with TikTok. How would you grow a TikTok channel?
I guess I can just speak from personal experience. I mean, just get comfortable in front of the camera. You're going to get a thing that trolls love to do is when they see somebody doesn't have a big following, they just love to go on and roast you. And I can show you some videos, some of my earlier stuff. And I'm actually going to do that and in a vlog and highlight some of the comments. I mean, people were talking about the size of my head. They were talking about
everything under the sun. On TikTok,
It was just it was pretty bad early, but you have to silence all those voices and just realize that's not going to be the majority. If this is something you love to do, you're going to get better at it. The thing is, you can't quit. That's the only way you fail, is if you quit. Like, don't say,
right.
you can set goals for yourself, and I'm fine with that. You can say, I want to have 15,000 subs or whatever it is by this date, but not achieving that doesn't mean you failed. It means you didn't hit what you thought you would, but failure is only in your mind. I mean, we overestimate what we can achieve in a matter of months and underestimate what we can achieve in a decade or two. So, just get comfortable with being in front of the camera, hearing your voice. Some people that do, creative work will say, I don't like to watch myself. I study myself. I will watch a video. Yeah, I will watch a video over and over and over again, and just to see what I did, what I could do better, what I did wrong, how I could have said this better. Does my voice sound good? Is the audio good? I don't drive myself crazy with it, but I'm just very honest with myself, saying you could have done that better. That joke could have hit harder, or something like that. So I'll watch, and that's why I guess people can say whatever they want to me. No one's going to be as critical of me than I am.
As you. Yeah. I know. That is funny that you say that, and that you were mentioning TikTok trolls, because they are fierce at first, and they're like, the fierce ones are just fierce, and they're always out there. We've weeded out the asses who are just like, you guys are clowns. You just always love picks. You don't
know ball, dude.
But now it's all cleaned out, so where those people aren't even messing around, and now the engagement in the comments is ridiculous, with people giving trade questions, or asking us for advice. And I've actually been screwing around with going live on TikTok recently, just popping on there. I've done it, I guess, 3 times now. It's actually pretty fun. We don't have enough followers on TikTok. I think we're just under 8,000 to like monetize, to be able to get super chats and stuff like we do here on YouTube. But no, TikTok's fun. I forget where I was going there. Oh yeah, so the clowns. Yeah, that's just something you deal with. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm married, I've got 2 kids. I can deal with some TikTokers. You know what I mean? Like, every once in a while, one will stick, or it catches you at a bad time. The aforementioned kids, like, I'm cleaning up something, I read it, it's like, oh, you're an ass. I'm gonna let it rip on this one. But you just got to roll with the punches. In terms of like the content volume, let's say somebody already has a TikTok channel, they've got a couple hundred followers, but would you recommend, you don't post a ton of volume, but with what you're saying, we post a lot of volume. Right. Would you recommend somebody just starting to do that, whether that's to learn to get better, but also for the quote unquote algorithm with TikTok?
Probably in the beginning, yes. I guess it depends on the content, because it makes sense for you guys to post a lot, because you're giving out so much information. I mean, everybody who plays Dynasty, I mean, the questions that can come in are virtually endless in terms of trade, values and whatnot. Somebody who's doing something like I'm doing, if you're doing skits or whatever, it might not that it wouldn't make sense, but I'll say this: don't drive yourself crazy saying I have to get a video up every day, because you can burn out very quickly. Then once you have to remember, you're doing this because you love it. If you burn out, that's a sign, that's a signal that's telling you, okay, you need to slow down. You need to, kind of gather yourself. And the one thing that I used to do that I don't recommend is posting for the sake of posting. I would say, I have to get a video up today. Now, it worked. People tend to like it, but it's not something I think you have to do. When I say be consistent, 1 or 2 videos a week, even 3 videos a week, if you want to, starting out, I think that's plenty. If you want to do more than that, fine. If you have the content to do more than that, then great. But you don't. I personally don't think you need to do more than that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think at first volume is good, and for us, it helps to just flood TikTok. Like we flood it. If anybody follows fantasy football, dynasty football content, like, we're on there for better or worse. You are good. You will see us. Yeah. But yeah, I would say volume especially. TikTok is much looser in terms of really caring if you have awesome, like, well put together content. They just want the content. They're young and they're like, oh yeah, this looks cool. But Instagram, I've found that Instagram, they're much softer. It's like a flower over on Instagram. Do you notice the same thing? Like, people are much more chill and cooler, more community, more relationship on Instagram.
Instagram for me is an enigma, because I don't know what is going to hit. Not that we ever know what is going to hit or not, but something could hit on TikTok and YouTube and on Instagram. It'll just crash and burn. And I will get all of a sudden, I won't post something for a couple of days and I'll see, and I gain 50 followers, but then I post something and I look an hour later and I lost 10 followers.
Yeah.
So
it's so weird
to me.
That is funny because it does fluctuate.
Yeah.
It does fluctuate with Instagram. It's kind of a crapshoot. I think YouTube Shorts are kind of similar.
Yeah.
For us, they've been doing really well lately. We just started like posting more shorts, but I liken the shorts users more like TikTok than Instagram in terms of the types of people that are going to respond. There seems to be a correlation in personalities.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can share this. My editor, this is hot off the press. Here's a reel that I haven't added music to, but I'm going to share my screen. And let's take a peek. Let's see how he did, right?
Yeah.
This is the first run. He didn't know I was going to share this, I'm sure, but whatever. He's got a good product. He doesn't care, right? Let's see this. Okay. What would it take for you guys to move the 101 in rookie drafts?
A lot. I want the 102 in a first, the 103 in a first, 104 in a first and a second. I want Jamar Chase. I want Justin Jefferson. I want Lamar Jackson. I want a lot. You need to give me a lot. You want this 101, you got to pry it off of me. You got to beat it out of me.
Yeah, you got
That's great advice, by the way.
It's just a bunch of stuff. Don't let anybody give you like 4 pieces for the 101 and like so those 4
so
pieces.
You can
see.
Like
I guess I'll just like also kind
like
of if you're trading, talk through like our strategy. There is like we like to have a lot of movement going on the screen at all times. With short form, every 3 seconds or so is recommended, like in terms of like a cut or just something to reset the attention. You're much better at holding attention without a bunch of graphics, with your style. But yeah, we just try to keep it moving a lot. I'll have to pull up a funny Shane one because Rich likes Shane as many in the crowd do, I'm sure.
I'll tell you, he followed me on Twitter and I felt like I wanted to celebrate when that happened. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm so happy about that. Try not to fanboy too much, but
hey man. Yeah. So, all right. So in terms of YouTube, are you going to be where do you put most of your focus? Like, what do you care most about growing?
YouTube. And it was TikTok in the beginning because I started out on TikTok. And the thing that's a little different about TikTok now, when I started, you could gain an organic following very quickly.
Yes.
They tended to just push your videos out more and more. So there's less and less of that. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, because my wife keeps up to date with what's going on in the content creation world, and she kind of like tells me and she sends me videos. So TikTok is actually focusing more on doing more YouTube style videos. I don't know if you've noticed on TikTok where you can hit that little button for a video like this and it'll fill the whole screen. It'll just turn and fill the whole screen.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it'll do that. So they're going to add 25-minute videos. So they want you to keep people on the app longer. So they are trying to use that YouTube sort of.
They definitely are.
Right.
Yeah, they're encouraging you to and the notifications. Hey, try posting something longer. Yeah, but go ahead.
So for me, YouTube, I have 15,000 on YouTube. That's more valuable than the 100,000+ that I have on TikTok. As
100%.
As far as I'm concerned, because the community you build on YouTube is it's second to none, man. Like these people, they'll show up in your live streams. They'll comment consistently on your videos. And I love engaging with people. If you're going to invest your time in me, I'm going to make sure I respond to you. I'm going to make sure I acknowledge you. If I see you in the comment, make a comment on one of my live streams or something like that. But I wanted to touch base, kind of go back a little bit because you were talking about TikTok lives. And the weird thing about TikTok live is I'll get a handful of people that I will see comment on videos consistently, but it's mostly people I don't know that go on there.
Okay.
And 1 minute you'll have 500 viewers and 3 minutes later you'll have 7.
Yeah.
So it's so weird. It's just,
it's just back and forth. Yeah. You'll have 500 sometimes, huh?
Sometimes the most I've had on there was about 1,200. And
Wow.
but the gifts are not like YouTube either. Like they'll give you gifts and it's like roses. I don't know, it could be like
Diamonds and
8
stuff.
cents. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is, but the YouTube, I'm focusing mostly on YouTube, and then I'm just kind of spreading out the content through other platforms. Facebook has actually been pretty good. I don't know
It
if
has?
you guys, yeah, it has.
I don't put much focus in it. What do you do? What do you do on Facebook that's different or the same?
The reels, Facebook is basically set up like Instagram in terms of the reels. So you're going to gain your following. Well, from what I understand, the way I've gained my following is through reels, and you have 90 seconds. You post a reel, and that's what I do. I'll include links. You can do the live streams. When you get to a certain follower count, you can add your live streams. You can do it through StreamYard, and they engage too. Like they'll engage on your into your live streams. I'll get quite a few viewers on my live streams.
Yeah. We don't have anybody from Facebook right now, but normally we have a handful who are on Facebook. We're actually streaming on my Twitter handle, Shane Scott's, my other co-host, 10 from our Trades and 5 handle, and then there's 37 here in YouTube.
Awesome.
It's cool how you can stream to multiple places now.
Yeah,
but I feel like it did crash us the other night, but
yeah.
let's get into a trade question here for a second. Let's pivot. So Kobe Bryant asks, 12 teams start 8 1 QB, so very shallow. I have the 105. Who would you guys recommend is the best pick in terms of value? Love the show. So I'll just start real quick saying, don't try to make a pick. Don't try to attach a player name to that pick right now. I look at the value of the 105 in a 1 QB, and I don't look at it as being valuable at all. Yeah. That is like, it's a total crapshoot who's going to be there at 105. That might be a situation, honestly, in a 1 QB to where maybe you do take a Jaden Daniels type, some kind of running quarterback. Even in single QBs are kind of, I guess, underappreciated, let's say, but you do want to have a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, someone who can put up crooked stats. Yeah. So I don't know if that could be there, but we don't know who's going to be there at 105. We don't know who the wide receiver 3 and 4 is, if the running back 1 is going to go at the 105. I don't know. What do you think? I'd rather buy a vet.
Yeah, it's also I mean, it depends on landing spot too. I mean, we can look at some of these guys now and say they're great, but if one of them ends up in New England and they don't have a quarterback, all of a sudden it doesn't look as pretty. One of the receivers. So it's a tough question to ask now, but I like the idea of trying to trade that pick for a vet. That's one of the things that I do. And if you could get, what I like to do is guys that were in the draft last year, in a rookie draft last year that haven't really hit, I like to try to get one of those guys thrown in as like an add-on, somebody like a Roshan Johnson, somebody like a Kendre Miller or something like that.
Yep.
Because if you can tack that on, then you could have, 2 stud players, a guy who can eventually be a stud for years to come for the price of, just that pick.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so the 105 in a shallow league like this, you can also use that 105. If the 101's even on the block, feel free to pile in whatever depth you have, Kobe Bryant, to be able to move up to the 101. The 101 or the 102. Outside of that, you don't really want to actually pick a player. That's what we found. Well, I'll say that right now. Again, it's January 3rd as I'm saying this. We're going to do a lot of mock drafts. We're going to go one by one through the picks, and we'll be able to attach names to this. But right now, I don't want anything to do with that 105.
Yeah.
Give me a vet or the 101 or 102. Okay, we'll do another one here. So let me ask you about this, and then we'll move back. So Fate's Messenger, that's a cool name. Any suggestions for Bryce Young owners? Would you just hold him at this point? What do you think, Rich? What do you think about Bryce Young football?
I haven't been a fan of Bryce Young. I was actually shocked that they took him first overall. So over CJ Stroud, that surprised me. I was so certain Frank Reich was going to go with the big quarterback.
Yeah, as soon as they made the trade, everybody's like, well, I guess this means,
Yeah. If you can get something for him now, I don't know what you'd be able to get. I mean, again, is it a super flex league or whatever? You'd obviously have more value there. In a 1 quarterback league, I don't know that you are getting anything for him. Yeah, I'm not sold on Bryce Young. I don't know. I'd try to sell him if I could, depending on the league.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still hopeful on Bryce Young. Luckily, in the situation on the clock when you had Richardson and Bryce Young and Stroud, I ended up getting a bunch of all of them just because of like how it ended up working out. And there was a situation where I was like, okay, I got to stop taking some Bryce Young. Let me get CJ Stroud, when I thought CJ Stroud was going to be like, my gut feel was that he was going to be a bust, and my gut was full of shit. Apparently.
Well,
That's not the case.
The other thing that scares me about Bryce Young is they don't have draft capital this year. They don't have they don't really have weapons. And I don't know what the coaching situation is going to be.
They have a lot of money though, right? Can't they?
Yeah.
Can't they plow a bunch of money into a wide receiver? Like T. Higgins' name always comes up.
Yeah, T. Higgins comes up. You know what? I suppose they could, but I guess it depends on what T. Higgins wants. Does he want to go to that situation? You know, would he take that, take more money to go to a situation like that over maybe perhaps a little less money to go to a situation where he thinks he can, you know, make a playoff push and win?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. I see this one. Just say no to Facebook from someone. Let's go to leave the race here, and then we'll get back to some content creation stuff. So 12 team, 1 QB, start 9. I have the 101, 103, 108, 112. QB is Kyler. Running backs, Achan, Zamir White, cans, and Rich, that is trash cans. Our community is so awesome that we've got all sorts of words, inside joke words. So trash cans at running back outside of Achan and Zamir White. Wide receivers are Jamar Chase, JSN, London, Judy, Wandale, and Downs. Tight end, Kincaid and Komet. Drafting Marvin, but sending an offer for Lamb. What moves would you suggest I make? I also have 2 mid to late 24 seconds and a couple 25 firsts as well. Okay, Rich, this is your team. It is a fairly shallow 1 QB, 12 team start 9. Those are your picks. That's your team. What are you doing?
I think I'm sticking with the picks. If I can bring in CeeDee Lamb, sure, but I actually really like this build. I mean, Achane and Zamir White. I'm a big Zamir White fan. So
you are? Yep.
Yeah, I am. I think, you know, down the line he's going to smash. You can grab, you know, a couple. What did he say? He has 2 second rounders too.
Yeah, he said he had a couple mid/late 24 seconds.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of JSN, Jamar Chase. You're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. What do you think it would take to bring CeeDee Lamb in there? The 1-3, I guess.
Yeah,
1-3 and change.
a plus a lot, almost the 101.
Yeah,
almost the 101. So because like we were just talking about 103, who knows what it's going to be in a single QB.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this format, you just want to combine this depth and try to get hammers. It's close enough, this team, to where with those picks you can compete. So what do we always look to do? Tier up from London, Judy. You know, can you get anything for Wandale? Like, can you use Wandale and a mid-second to sneak up into, you know, the 112 or whatever it is? Or you've got the 112, 111. You get the idea. So package that depth to try to get hammers. And then, yeah, I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr. at 101, and then everything else is flexible.
Yeah.
Can I buy CD with a 103 and 108? Done. Like, done.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this format. So
and then with those second rounders, I mean, if you aren't able to move up, I mean, smash those rookie running backs if they're there.
Sure. Do you like to do that in the second? Just like take a bunch of running backs and hope 1 or 2 hits.
Yeah, I like to do that. You know, and a lot of those guys, what I've found is sometimes those guys hit later in the season when everybody's running back depth is just, you know, dead. Some of these backups, I fill my roster with just backup running backs, you know, guys.
That's how we do it, man. Yeah. That's how we do it. Yeah. So, all right. So let's pivot back over, and I'm actually going to share my screen. So for better or worse, Rich and people in the audience, I decided new year, new YouTube channel. So I started another YouTube channel on Saturday night. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I was home alone, no kids, no wife. So I was like, okay, let me start another channel. So I did that. I'm going to share my screen and just show you how awesome it is to see awful analytics like this. So check this out. All right, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
All right, is it zoomed in enough to where you can see it? I wish StreamYard could make it. Like, what if tell me if I'm zooming in right now, Rich?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is fantastic. I just started this on Saturday night. I have 5 subscribers, which is great.
That is good.
This last one that I posted, it has 1 view, but no, it's cool because that's 4th out of my last 7 videos getting 1 view. It is awesome. But so let me show you the first piece of crap that I put up here. This is when my first one when I was dusting off my my editing. So let's view this on YouTube. Another thing with thumbnails is you want to always zoom out. Sometimes you can get in the weeds looking at the details of a thumbnail, when in reality, they're going to be viewing it on mobile device. See, horrible jump cuts. Okay. So then I was like, all right, I don't want to edit. I was like, I'll do the captions, but I'm not.
I wasn't able to see it on there, actually.
Oh, you weren't?
I was able to hear it.
Oh, bummer. Okay. Well, yeah, I could play it in some other form or fashion. Oh, now I have 6 subscribers.
Oh, nice.
I got somebody in the crowd joined. Yeah, so it's at Dynasty Creator is what I'm naming it. And ultimately, yeah, I'd like to do content just like this, how to grow on YouTube, how to grow on TikTok, things like that, and have it be fantasy football focused to help other content creators in the fantasy football space. Learn how to make better content. Maybe it turns into a consulting type thing for me if somebody sees it and they want me to help them out.
Yeah,
obviously a Patreon opportunity if people want to be able to get live with me one-on-one and work on their channel. I think that's probably an attractive offering. But like you said earlier, with when I asked you about long form and vlogging, you were like, it just feels right. It's just something that you want to do, and ultimately this is what I want to do is create a media company one day.
Well, that's
not just
awesome.
the YouTube channel.
That's awesome that you're showing that, though, because people are seeing. I mean, just by watching your content and hearing and watching the other Dynasty Creator episodes that you've had, which, I mean, you've had a litany of guests that I love all of them, man. Like, people that I watch all the time. I'm just like, oh man. But just hearing you talk about this, I see, you see how driven you are, and you see where your head is. So I think you've even actually said the words, I'm never going to quit. I think I've heard you actually say that. So knowing you have that mentality, there's no doubt, and there should be no doubt in anybody's mind. I'm sure there's no doubt in your mind that channel is going to grow over time. And that's good for people to see who are thinking, maybe I want to get into whatever type of content creation, seeing that you have 6 subscribers, but you're not there crying about it. You're not, oh my God, I suck. My video didn't hit 100,000 views or whatever. That's the process. It's like finding a lottery ticket. If you put a video up and all of a sudden it gets 3 million views, that's like finding a lottery ticket. That's unlikely to happen. It could happen, but it's unlikely to happen. But you could also be one of those people that has that happen, but you don't even know what your content is. I would rather be the person who's growing slowly and know what my content is and know where the direction I want to go in, than be somebody who feels like I'm a celebrity, but I don't know what my content is. I don't know how to maintain that.
No, that's 100. That's spot on. That's spot on. It's not the width of the. Wait, what is it? Is that the width or the depth? You want stronger subs as opposed to more. What is it?
I know what you're saying, but I'm going to butcher it.
Yeah. Normally I know those. I don't butcher it, but there we go. No, but it is interesting. So I did set up. Yeah, for those in the crowd, it's at Dynasty Creator on YouTube, and then I also have an Instagram and a TikTok. On Instagram, I think it's at Dynasty Creator in 5, because unfortunately at Dynasty Creator was taken. But yeah, I'm on TikTok too, and it's funny, Rich, just how it works. TikTok right now, because of my Dynasty Trades in 5 and how I'm having Dynasty Trades as one of my hashtags, but also with content creation, people from Dynasty Trades in 5 are finding me organically, and all of a sudden I'm getting a following and getting hits on my videos. So you saw that last one had 1 on YouTube, right? It has, so I just got back in here. TikTok is up to 22 followers, but that video had 1,452.
Nice.
So it's just, yeah, which again is like a small amount, but it just shows the reach you can get with TikTok.
Yeah.
YouTube hasn't learned who I am yet. So if anybody in the crowd or listening has just started a channel, they've got some subs, but they don't get any views. They get like 9 views. It's fine. We're all there. It's just all about content and community. I think you would agree with that, Rich. I could tell you're big community focus. You care about your subs. You do it because you love it.
Yeah.
And then content. Those are the 2 pillars for us.
Yeah, that's basically it. And that, and I'll talk again about the vlog I did. People are following me to laugh. They follow me because of the, but I also, provide football content as well. But basically, they want to laugh. They want the football stuff tied in and whatnot. And a vlog is just different, right? A vlog is a little different. I'm still being funny, but I'm talking about football, just sharing my thoughts, showing you my day to day. And typically, I would get on a video. I'll get a few thousand views. Sometimes 10,000, sometimes 5,000. That one's not even at 500 yet, the vlog that I posted. And that's a 25-minute video. I posted it on TikTok. And I typically on TikTok, I'll get around, on average around 20,000 views. On the high end, about 200,000 views. That one's got fewer views than you have on the account with 22 people. So I'm not looking at it as, oh my God, it's a failure. I'm looking at it as it's a process. I'm starting something new. People have to, they're not just going to see me and say, oh my God, I love this guy. And, I'm going to all of a sudden start getting views. It's something that I need to get better at. I know I need to get better at doing vlogs, make them more interesting. And it's just reps. Like just keep.
It's just reps.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So it wasn't letting me show my screen earlier for whatever reason. So this video should just pop up right in between us and start playing. But this is the most recent one that I posted on Dynasty Creator. And it looks a lot better than the first one. Let's just say that. All right. So when is the best time to post on TikTok? At Dynasty Trades at 5, we've had success posting between 10 a.m. and around 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then again from around 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Instagram is similar, but slightly different. You can post on Instagram typically between 10 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. And then a little bit earlier at night from around 8 o'clock to 10:30. So what do you think about that? First off, those times.
No, about the posting time?
Yeah, the posting times.
I don't get. I used to get caught up in the posting times, and I don't anymore. So I just post and I just put it out there when it's done, and I don't think like, oh my God, if I post it, and maybe that's wrong of me to do. I'm not saying that posting times are irrelevant. But there have been times when I've watched videos and people are saying, post at this time, and I'll post at that time, and it wouldn't do as well as it did when I posted at a different time, just randomly. So, I think something can be said. You want to post when you think your audience is available, and they give you analytics to show you when your audience is available. So I think that's probably the most important thing. Now, if you're just starting out, something like that would be useful, like post around those times and see what works for you. But for me, posting times, they haven't really made much of a difference that I can see.
No, for us, it's TikTok. I find, and you have a hell of a lot more followers than we do, but is much more fickle in terms of the posting times. Much more fickle. So I really do have a lot of luck around 11 a.m. And then at night, not too late, but around 9:30 p.m. is a kind of a sweet spot. So I feel like TikTok is very fickle. The other night I was like, whatever, I'm going to drop one at 11. I'm going to drop one at 11, see how it does. Flopped. It was bizarre. Yeah.
There was I guess this is when and now that I just thought about it, this is when I kind of broke away from posting times. I made a video, and this was the first time I ever had the devil appear in a video. This was for the Rams and Bengals Super Bowl. And I was so proud of it. I posted it. And for some reason, TikTok wasn't releasing it. It was just in limbo for a long time. And I was so angry about it because I was like, they're going to post this overnight. It's going to release overnight, and I'm not going to get any traction. I woke up and had like 250,000 views on it.
That's awesome.
And it posted at like 2 a.m. So I was like, okay, that kind of tells me that, it's 2 a.m, like a great posting time for me. No, but it hit for some reason.
Yeah. YouTube gives you the analytics. You see in the background too in your analytics with the color chart and stuff, the
Yeah.
dark purple and whatnot. I just like to get it on there a little bit before like the rush that they try to show on the graph. So like
Yeah.
10:30, around 10:30 to noon is when I like to drop long form on YouTube. Works best for us.
But what
Definitely
I would like
works
to
best.
do more is be more consistent with what times I'm posting so people can expect it at a certain time. And it's a little harder for me to do because this isn't my full time, so
Right.
so it's a little harder to say, okay, I'm definitely going to have this video up by 7:00 on every Thursday. I can't do that right now, but I think that could be beneficial. Especially with some, this stuff that you do is a little more time sensitive too, because you have lineups that have to be set and whatnot.
Yes.
So
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But I agree with the consistency side. The live stream, we do it every Tuesday at 8:30. Like
Yeah.
we've missed, like Scott had to miss last night's because he was sick. He's been sick for a while. I've been sick for a week and a half, but he's been sick. But yeah, we don't miss a live stream on Tuesdays for the most part. You can Sharpie it in. So I think the fact that we always have it's like a rock solid 370-ish like the whole time. And I guarantee
That's
like
good, man.
90% of them are the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be just like this rock solid platform. So
That's good.
I love the community building.
My live streams hit on average about 40 when I live stream for games. I just sit there and talk about the game, do play-by-play and whatnot. I hit about 40. The peak I've hit was mostly for Jet games. I get more people because they know I'm a Jets fan. So I've hit 120. I think that's pretty good for just me being on there for 3 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Talking,
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm pretty happy about that. But 300 and change is pretty good. Do you know who Tom Grassi is?
I know the name.
Yeah, he does. He's a big Packers fan. He has Packcast. He's got like over almost 600,000 on YouTube, and he does a lot of live streams. But he raided my live stream once. He had his people come in to just randomly come in and raid my live stream. So
really?
All of a sudden, I'm like looking at the follower count. I'm like, how do I have 300 people in here? I was like,
no kidding. I've never heard of anyone doing that.
Yeah, he does that for smaller creators. It's a really cool thing he does, man.
Interesting. Yeah. We'll send him, give him a nudge our way. We'll take a little bump.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know me. I don't know him, but somebody in his chat said, go raid Pro Football Demon, and he did. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, that is cool. That is cool. So we still have 45 people in here, 51 minutes in. Again, hit that like if you'd be so kind. Easiest way to help out the channel. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to grow that Dynasty creator little side channel and TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, I think I'm gonna post it on Twitter asking if anybody wants to join in the journey. I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there who maybe they created a bunch of content, but they haven't just posted it yet for whatever reason, or they're on the sidelines. Like, come join me. You know, I'll be in the trenches with you. You just saw the analytics.
Yeah.
My 5 awesome subscribers. And one of them is me. One of them is Dynasty Trades in 5. So
you'll have 7 by the time when we finish this. I'll go follow you too.
Exactly. Let me hit refresh. Let's see if I'm still at 6. Still at 6. So
but that is so helpful because like when I know I can only speak for myself, but I'm assuming it's similar with you. I mean, got into this and didn't know what other people's experiences were. Didn't know if am I on the right track or not? I just kind of looked at things and said, and I looked at the analytics again of that vlog. And when I usually look at my analytics for my skits, the retention rate is pretty high. It's like, midway through the skit, it's at like above 80. For the vlog, it was like, 15.
Yeah. You probably lost 70% right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Off
it just
the rip.
dipped. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but again, that was the way it was with the skits early on when I first started posting them. People don't know who you are, but then when I start seeing you more and more consistently, it's kind of like that thing they say in retail, right? When if people see a product in front of them, it usually takes 4, 5, 6 times before it actually resonates with them. So this is similar.
No, it is. And I'm going to have to, next time we tee up a question, I got to show you one more video because I know you appreciate content creation and production and stuff. And it's the favorite video I've ever made. And I'm in it, and that's not the reason, but it was like 27 cuts. But let me get you set up with something real quick here.
Yeah.
So let me just bring up a player. You're going to talk about him while I download the video. All right. So who's on my mind right now? or no, type it into the crowd. We haven't engaged much there. 46 people in here. Type out a couple player names. We'll give 5 seconds. We'll have Rich pick one here. Oh, I see one. Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. I have called Zay Flowers on my live streams a grown man. And when I say someone is a grown man, that means he is very good at football. It kind of hurt when they drafted Zay Flowers. First of all, he should be a Charger. I don't know what they were thinking, grabbing Quentin Johnston, but he destroyed my Rashad Bateman love because I thought Rashad Bateman was going to be an uber stud.
You were one of those. Yeah.
Oh my God, I couldn't quit him. He's like with the Kenny Britt. I couldn't quit Kenny Britt back in the day.
Kenny Britt.
Yeah.
Nice.
But Zay Flowers, man, and I love this Todd Monken offense with the Ravens. I mean, it fits Lamar like a glove, and I had a feeling that was going to happen. And having a guy like Zay Flowers there is. Am I talking too much? I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You're timing it perfectly.
Having a guy like Zay Flowers there is perfect. Lamar is becoming such a good passer, and the way he navigates that pocket is insane. And having a guy like Zay Flowers that can break open. I mean, in a way, Tyreek Hill like. I mean, not doesn't have the uber speed Tyreek Hill does. I mean, he's fast in his own right, but to have that on Baltimore is phenomenal.
Where are you at in terms of tight end? Because I was just thinking about Mark Andrews. What would be your top 5 dynasty tight ends right now?
Top 5 dynasty tight end. Oh my God. Laporta has got to be number one.
Laporta, yeah. So the names in there are Laporta, Hawkinson, Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean, is Kelsey out of there now?
I think Kelsey's out of there. Yeah, I think you have to take Kelsey out of there.
McBride is in there, I guess.
Who is that? I'm sorry.
McBride.
McBride, yeah, McBride is in there.
I didn't say him, yeah.
Kincaid, maybe you can throw in there. But I am still putting Kyle Pitts in there because I believe in the talent. And I think it's an Arthur Smith issue. I think when Kyle Pitts has a legit quarterback, he's going to explode. And again, it might be one of those guys that can't quit, but this is not a talent issue. This is an Arthur Smith issue.
Exactly.
So I would, if you can buy Kyle Pitts on the cheap in Dynasty, I would do that.
Yeah. I've got some Kyle Pitts, and I'm holding out hope for a lot of the shares. Everybody's like, just get out. It's like, but how do you get out on that profile?
Well, I mean, look,
it's tough.
If they, let's say they land the Justin Fields or Russell Wilson all of a sudden, then that could look different for Kyle Pitts next year.
It could look a lot different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pull up this video right here. And what it is, this was the first video that was totally off base for us. We everything was Dynasty football content, no comedy, nothing. But I decided I wanted to do a behind the scenes series. So meeting myself, meeting Shane, and meeting Scott. Now we haven't done a Scott one yet. He wasn't super interested in the past, but we'll I'll show you the one on me. This was the first one, and I had a blast producing it. Here we go.
Everybody thinks Clay's like this, like normal, like he's the level-headed one of the crew, I think. Out of the 3 of us, right? Like between the 3 of us, he's been doing crack, and/or weed, and coke, maybe a little heroin, with some Baltimore criminal that he's excited to meet. I'm not really sure how he met her. He didn't really explain.
Already met her at a gentleman's club.
Hey there, K-Dog reporting. Coworker Clay, he was in the area. We decided to meet up at a local watering hole. On my way to this establishment, Clay's texting me saying, "You will not believe who's here." So I'm getting a little excited, thinking it's Lamar Jackson or something. Nope. Pull up, see Clay, and he's kind of eyeing to me. I realize it was the infamous Marilyn Mosby. Clay continues to go up to her and start networking about his great YouTube page and his ability to make some solid TikTok and content. I was expecting Marilyn Mosby to ask for some personal space, maybe give him a little cold shoulder. But after going up there 3 or 4 times later that day, I believe they connected even on Instagram or something. But nice. Mission accomplished. I gotta give it to Clay.
Then there's some other a woman, a very nice looking woman. So Clay has decided that we are doing a free roster review for her.
Yeah. So wasn't that awesome?
That is awesome. Oh my! Did you edit that? You edited all that together yourself?
No, so
Okay.
I didn't. I worked with my editor, and
Okay.
we had again like 26 or so back and forth. It was V26 before I dropped it. I just became obsessed with it, like
That is
every
awesome.
little aspect of it. But
Yeah.
after this, I'll send you Shane's Day. Was my favorite video we've ever made. It's like, see that one right there. How long do you think it was?
Was that about maybe 60 seconds? I would say.
Okay, yeah. So it was a minute and 21 seconds.
Okay.
But I was doing my best with that video to make it as immersive as possible. Just like this storytelling was the focus on there. But Shane's Day is where we had a lot of fun with graphics, and it's just absolutely a trip. Whatever, man. I'm just gonna play it right now. People can skip this and people can skip this in the replay, right? I can timestamp it. So I named this one. Well, I guess it's going to have to download in the back end.
Yeah,
it's
that's
called.
My bird, by the way, I'm sorry. My parrot starts screaming sometimes.
You have a bird. You would have a bird. You would have a bird. Okay, it wasn't letting me show my. It wasn't letting me show my screen. So, tell me the hardest thing about content creation, and what makes you burn out from time to time, if you have recently.
Yeah, I definitely have recently. I have a few times. The hardest thing for me is the filming when I'm doing the skits, because I'm changing my outfits and everything. I'm trying to get into character, and it really wears me down. Filming can take me like anywhere between 2 to 4 hours sometimes. Sometimes I have her to deal with, and she's going off, and I have to go out there and quiet her down, or something's going on. So that's the thing that really takes the toll on me. The editing part I love. That is like, my God, I absolutely love editing. When I went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and I used to have this when I was a kid, my mom had this video camera that we put the VHS tape in there, whatever, and I would film little skits like that. When I went to CSB, they had an audio video room, and they with a green screen and everything, and it was awesome. Just so, man, I loved doing it. My first thing was an interview with Batman. I played both roles. But the fact that we can edit the way we can edit now from our phones, just on the laptop, the way it is, man. Like, if you're not making content now, you don't understand how easy it is compared to the way it used to be.
It is so much easier. Yeah, I just started messing around with Opus too. So I went on StreamYard here and just recorded by myself, and then let it make a bunch of clips. And then, of course, it makes you pay to get rid of the watermark, which you can do without paying, by the way. But then adding captions and stuff. But using AI to automatically clip your stuff. I don't know if you've dabbled in AI. I'm like just starting to mess with it more and more, and that's a big focus for 24.
Yeah,
is AI?
I mess with ChatGPT a bit.
Yeah,
sometimes if
it's
like
amazing. It's amazing. It's like give me 200 characters talking about this, and then it's like, okay, but have like 3 bullets in there at least. You talk to it like it's a person. But
and you can say, give me 200 characters talking about this, and tell me as if you're Jesse Pinkman, and it will.
Will it really?
Swear to God, do it. Try it.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, it's probably like Alexa. Anything you like ask it to do, it's probably like that, like souped up, right? Probably knows like way more. All right, so I am going to play this Shane video because I want you to see it, and I watch this no less than once every 2 weeks to laugh. If I'm upset, I like watching this this video. Here we go. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. If anybody wants to skip on the replay. Shane, what do you do every day?
Just a typical work weekday.
Plays with his dick in his office. Yells at people.
Let's see. I get there about 8:30. Get to work about 8:30, and then I work.
You're a morning person, Shane?
No, I hate the morning. Most
days. Do you have an iced coffee on the way?
Yes, I have a Dunkin' Donuts that is 30 seconds away from my apartment. First thing I do is I go get my iced coffee and smoke a cigarette and contemplate my life. And is this really all there is?
You have a macro life moment.
Every morning.
Talk with yourself every morning.
Every morning I go, this again. This is the same thing I did yesterday. It's the same thing I'm going to do tomorrow. I am going to die and no one's even going to notice. Is it any of this real? I hope this is a simulation. But if it is a simulation, shouldn't it be better than this?
Anyway.
So then, I listen to podcasts on the way to work, fantasy football. But sometimes I'm like, I can't listen to this anymore because, well, most fantasy football podcasts are boring. And I can't listen to myself. And those are usually the most.
Oops. Crap. Shane, what do you do every day? I can't do that. I can't do that to the crowd. Son of a bitch. Dang, that was about to be the funniest part. And you can't do it in StreamYard where you can scroll. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Shane cam instead of Dunkin' Donuts. No, but it's like he's like, yeah. And then I go to the gym and like we have him like on this like escalator and all this like, crazy. It was so fun. And you notice how I put like captions over Shane's face.
Yeah.
Like when he said bores me out of my mind. It's like, all right, well, let's have the captions coming out of your mind. Like that's how detailed and all we were getting with that video. And that was like 22 versions as well.
And I got that sense from you just hearing you talk in the other episodes of how detail oriented you are. And it was so nice to hear because sometimes I feel like, am I a little extra with some of the things that I do? Like, is it just me? You know,
maybe we both are. Yeah.
Because, I would think sometimes like I could have a bigger following if I just lessened the amount of work, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to chase a following at the risk of not putting out what I want to put out, how I want to put it out. I think that's
exactly
a trap
right.
you can fall into.
It's totally a trap. And I liken it to how we could have blown up Dynasty Trades in 5 if we had done like rankings content and buy sells and focusing on that. Like, we could be up at 20,000 right now. I think we're at, I don't know, 13 or something like that, but a strong, sturdy 13. And we've always been true to brand.
How long have you been doing it?
So we celebrated 2 years this past October.
Oh,
so
awesome.
just over 2 years. So it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a lot of fun. And you can tell both of us like it for the content reasons as well. And that's why I created this show is people who are content creators at heart. Like when I tweeted out or X'd, what do they call it? It's still you tweet on X.
Twitter, yeah.
I still say Twitter too. When I tweeted out asking who's like a true content creator, who comes to mind, there was a ton of people tagged. Jordan McNamara from my last show. Obviously, he's brilliant. Analytics at Dynasty. He was tagged a couple of times. So that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Not just like, hey, here's how to monetize, here's how to grow, but here's how to make unique content to differentiate.
Yeah. And listening to Jordan talk about football is like listening to music, man. It's just, I can just listen to it over and over again. It's awesome.
That's the truth. And it's so it makes sense. Like it's logical, but it also is like deeply rooted in numbers, it's like data driven, like logical stuff, which sounds like a good mixture, right?
Have you ever had any like voice training or anything? Because I used to work in radio. I worked at 1010 Wins in New York, and you sound like you could be on radio. Like you have that voice. So, it's perfect.
I haven't. Yeah. People have said that. They said my voice is like deep enough or something like that. I don't know what it is. Like, I'll take it. I'll take it. If somebody wants to pay me to be on the radio or something, I'll do it. Right.
Well, one of the problems that I have, and I see that you don't have it, is I say a lot. I say like a lot. I try to be so conscious of it, and it just comes out, and it's hard for me to not.
It's hard, and you run into it when you're editing yourself and you're watching yourself. Yeah, Scott, one of my co-hosts, he goes to what is it called, Toastmasters, and works on public speaking stuff.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So he doesn't say I'm trying to think what his crutch is, but Shane's an I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I used to always go, okay, I'd ask a question like, what do you think about I always repeat the first 3 words of the question. It's like, why do I need to repeat that? People can follow the first 3 words, but anyway,
and it's probably something nobody else cares about but you.
Exactly. Just like the people listening right now. Well, dude, let's do one more trade question, and then we're gonna get out of here, man. So Jake, we're going to yours. 10 teams start 10. Dynasty PPR 1 QB. So shallow 1 QB again. Traded the 102 and Olave for Chase. No chance I could get Marvin Harrison Jr. Is this too much for Chase? What do you think, man?
I don't think so. If you're taking Marvin Harrison Jr. out of the picture, I think that's a pretty fair trade.
Yeah, I think it's fair too. I mean, Olave's got a lot of truthers and a lot of haters. A lot of people saying he's like the most overrated, wide receiver in Dynasty based on his current value. I don't know where he is in keep trade cut these days because I don't look at it, but maybe number 8 or 10 or somewhere around there, I would imagine. I would pay this for Chase in this format. It's a single QB, it's a 10 team. So you just want the best piece in the deal. I mean, if Olave ends up being good and you could have had neighbors, there is a chance that it could bite you, but I'll take the proven hammer if I'm competing.
Yeah. And Chase is in the conversation for wide receiver 1 overall. I don't know that Olave or neighbors will get there. I mean, they'll be in the conversation top 10, maybe top 5. I don't know that they'll be in that, uber stud tier, the Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb tier. I don't know that they'll get there. So yeah, I like this. I like when you can get an uber stud like that. I don't even mind if you overpay a little bit for him.
Exactly. Just the fact that they're even available to be able to trade for is value in and of itself.
And if Burrow was played the whole season, Chase might not have been available for that price.
Yes, this is very true. Or available, period.
Right.
Right. Well, dude, this has been a lot of fun, but plug yourself. Where should people go? I hope some people watching this on replay have no idea who Rich is in Pro Football Demon. Like, the content is kick-ass. It's unique, but it's cool, and your football. So what do you want to plug, man?
Pro Football Demon on YouTube. Check me out. Check out the live streams. We're doing live streams throughout the playoffs. I do every Jets game. Doing some live streams this weekend. I always post them, post the thumbnails and everything beforehand, so you can check it out. Hit that little bell button, so you know what's going on. Facebook, Instagram, everything. YouTube. I mean,
you can find
TikTok.
me. Yeah.
Just type in Pro Football Demon, you'll see all the stuff come up. But,
and you've got a link tree and all of that too. But this was a lot of fun, man. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we met. Thank you again to the 45 folks in here. Hit that like on the way out if you'd be so kind. I'm going to end this stream. Appreciate it.